I remember saying to Senator Dianne Feinstein in California when she asked me about whether or not to support the authorization for the scholarship program, I said, look, of all the issues we face in America, it could be taxes, it could be health care, on all these issues, I understand the need for partisanship. But if there's one issue in America in which we should strip away the partisanship and do what's solely in the best for children, it should be education. And so the first thing I would say is, let's really, as hard as it may be, let's get rid of the politics and let's focus on what's best for children. If you focus on what's best for children, it is absolutely impossible not to support school choice. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know that every dollar you spend for a child or that you dedicate to be spent for children will actually go to educating these children, as opposed to some other form of just school bureaucracy gobbling up resources. So, that's the first thing. Let's do what's in the best interest of children. And secondly, let's look at the results. Because in those areas where there's been innovation and creativity and where teachers are able to do their job and that there are different options for parents, in those jurisdictions where that exists, all children, no matter what their socioeconomic background, all children thrive. So, let's strip away the hype that may be thrown out there by teachers union and other special interests, and let's look at the results. And you'll see that children benefit. So if you put children first, if you look at the results, and then more specifically, let's look at what's happening to some of these families that have benefited from this program in D.C. And if you do those things, then, I think that most people will understand that this is something we got to continue. So it's a challenge because of the politics of it all. But at the end of the day, if we're guided by what's best for children, then people will do the right thing. As I've gone down south, I understand that a lot of legislators, one African-American legislator in South Carolina said to me privately, said, Kevin, you may be right, but I can't support it because these 2 or 3 people over here support it, and they were supporting Jim Crow. So, these folks have the baggage and the weight of the past stopping them from doing what's best for our kids' future. And what I would say to them, frankly, is, look, fortunately, each generation gets better. Our kids understand this stuff better. They're respectful of the past, but they're not held hostage by it. And I would say that if you look at what's best for these kids, they're great opportunities for our kids that otherwise wouldn't exist if you open up your mind. And we've got to check ourselves. I mean, for someone to say, I believe it may make sense, but I can't support it because of who else is supporting it, I mean, that flies in the face of logic. But that shows how deep those wounds are, and it also shows how we've got to find those young and progressive thinking African Americans who will be the future leaders and educate them so that they're not necessarily, bogged down by the past, but they can build on that legacy as opposed to being held hostage by it. And so I think the message is outreach. I've told my friends that if we go a week and you don't talk to 5 new people, then we're not doing our job. And so, I get most of my 5 new people on a plane, but I think that we've got to reach beyond ourselves and stop talking with each other about this and start trying to bring in new people and build new bridges. And that's the way we'll spread the message.